Ah, the street taco, where unctuous meat marinated in savory citrus and herbs is paired with the cool crunch of onions and cilantro. Try this take on carne asada today, served alongside rice that would make your local Mexican restaurant jealous. All right, so we're going to be using some skirt steak for this, and anytime you're using meat that has very visible grains like that, you're going to want to make sure that you cut it such that our final product will be cut against the grain. So I'm going to go ahead and break this down into 4 pieces that I can easily fit into my cast iron skillet because it's just a little too hot out to grill today. And I'm cutting with the grain here so that our final cut will be crosswise against the grain so that it'll be nice and tender. Now, this marinade's got a few ingredients, but damn is it good. So definitely got to give this one a try. I've got some fresh cilantro in a plate here with some olive oil, some soy sauce, and by the way, the exact amounts down below as always. Some red wine vinegar, apple cider or white vinegar would be just fine too. A few cloves of garlic that have been finely minced or crushed. 1 jalapeno with the seeds. It's going to be pretty spicy, so that's optional. You can leave that out if you're not looking for any spice. Got some chili powder going in, followed by a little cumin and some ground oregano. A little bit of chipotle chili powder for some smokiness. And of course, we got to hit it with some salt. Not too much. That soy sauce has a good bit of salt in it. And some freshly cracked pepper. I like to add a little splash of honey, maybe about a heaped tablespoon or so. And then we're going in with the juice of 1 orange and the juice of 1 lime. And this citrus really sings in this marinade. It's bright and just absolutely phenomenal. Go ahead and give that a nice whisk until it is thoroughly combined, and then we'll add our skirt steak and marinate this for a minimum of 30 minutes, but I highly recommend doing this the day before, popping it in the fridge and letting it go overnight. So much flavor, and it just packs a punch in every bite. While that marinates, we'll turn our attention to our rice. Got about 3 tablespoons of olive oil in a skillet over medium heat. I'm adding in a cup of rice and a teaspoon or so of cumin, seasoning that with salt and pepper, and we're going to toast this rice in that oil for about 2 to 3 minutes until it is nice and nutty and fragrant, at which point we will add in a couple of cloves of minced garlic. Give that maybe 1 minute more, just until that garlic is nice and fragrant, and at this point we will add in our cooking liquids. We'll start off with some chicken stock, and then for color and flavor we'll add in some tomato sauce. Stir that well, bring that up to a simmer, pop the lid on, and cook for about 20 to 25 minutes. Turn the heat off, and you've got to let this stuff sit and rest and sort of fluff on its own for about 20 to 25 minutes. If you open that lid too soon, your rice is going to get gummy, but I was very patient. Let mine rest for about 30 minutes after it was cooked, and as you can see, it is beautiful, nice individual grains of rice, fluffy, and I love that color as well. So much flavor from the tomato sauce and cumin. This is an awesome Spanish, Latin, Mexican, whatever you want to call it, rice recipe that goes with tacos, burritos, or really anything Latin inspired. So these would be phenomenal on the grill, but I'm just keeping it simple and cooking these steaks in a skillet over medium-high heat. There's a lot of moisture in that marinade, so you want to have the heat up pretty high to cook off some of the excess liquid in there. Get a little bit of charring, kind of mimic what you would get on a hot gas or charcoal grill. Then I'm going to cook these until they're about 125 or so internally. They're going to carry over, cook up to about 135, and that's a nice medium to medium rare. Obviously the thinner ones are going to be closer to medium. So I cut it first, again with the grain, and now I'm going back through into little bite-sized pieces against the grain. These are going to be so tender and so succulent. And man, once you get to the thicker part there, you can see we've got some nice pink color in there. These are going to be absolutely dynamite. Now you don't need much of a condiment because that steak is so incredible on its own, but traditionally some nice raw white onion and a ton of cilantro that's been finely minced would be mixed together, and that's our topping. Maybe a little hot sauce sprinkled in there, and of course we'll get some fresh lime juice, lay down some of that beautiful succulent steak. By the way, make sure any resting juices, you keep those with the meat so it stays nice and moist. Lay on a nice little layer of that crunchy onion and cilantro. There's our lime wedge, and that is one beautiful carne asada street taco. You get so many wonderful flavors here. Of course, it leads with the citrus and soy flavors, and then you start to get the smokiness, and of course, if you put the jalapeno in there, the heat on the back end. Because we cut the steak properly against the grain, it's utterly tender. It just melts in your mouth. I definitely recommend skirt steak for this over flank steak. Oh man, look at how juicy that is. Skirt steak has more fat content, more marbling, and to me, just a much better, beefier flavor, but flank steak is an acceptable substitute. Heck, even a ribeye would probably be pretty doggone good. Oh man, just a flavor explosion. And this rice, as I said earlier, not gummy or gluey at all. I love toasting it off there for a couple minutes. It really helps to keep those grains nice and separate. Really satisfying, smoky flavor. This is my favorite taco on the planet, and I think if you make it, it might just be yours as well. So, thanks for watching. Now it's your turn to go make something delicious.